Hello and welcome to my reflection for the week of April 20th. Today's April 26th and it's about 12 p.m. right now. It's the end of the day. The last recording I did today didn't focus well enough, so I'm redoing it right now. But I wanted to begin this week's reflection by piggybacking a little bit on last week's, especially because I felt like I deviated from the prompt of this whole assignment a little bit, and I feel like I try to incorporate some material from the course into my reflection. I'm not saying that what I said isn't true, because I truly did think about those concepts that week. That was one of the most eventful parts of the week somehow, but I felt like that whole thing happened because lately, bringing this back to the whole pandemic experience, lately, like, the days feel like there's just a little bit of a monotone, continuous routine that goes by pretty fast, I would say, especially since we're just staying at home. And the only time we go out is to go get food, or to go out for a drive. And on that note, this week I did notice that, kind of bringing this back again to the prompt, I noticed that now that we're in the pandemic, we rely a lot more on food, or at least now we at my place personally do. And what I mean by that is that we make food a lot, like we cook a lot now, especially because we don't want to go outside and we don't want to be exposed to people. So we've been cooking food here at home a lot, and that's honestly become a bit of a hassle. I remember before this whole thing started, I would cook a few days out of the week, but it wasn't like every day. And I also obviously enjoyed going out to eat Christos, some Greek food, some In-N-Out, whatever I could. But I didn't rely on cooking at home so much. And for example, right now we're missing a few ingredients. Like, for example, we're missing onions, we're missing cheese, we're missing lime, and those are things that we use a lot in the house. And without those things, we still have food. We have a crazy amount of chicken, but it feels like we can't really cook the chicken because for the way I make it, I use like a lime. I use a lot of lime in my chicken, and it's really a hassle to try to adapt to just cooking at home all the time. And it feels like every time you cook it, like, your dish has to be totally complete, or else you can't really make it. But that reliance on food at home has been one of the big changes, especially now that we're adapted to this kind of like lifestyle now. It's been one of the big changes I've noticed. And the other one I wanted to talk about is how this whole isolation, like me not being able to come together with a group of people that are in the class and, for example, study the material, or like get ready for the finals that we're gonna have. I feel like now that we're in this pandemic, it's gonna be pretty hard for us to kind of adjust to that, because before, the way I studied for exams like the ones for this class, for my big exams, I would get together with a group of people in Moody and we would go over all the readings, the PowerPoints, and so. And we would try to have some people that understand this better than others explain it to us, so we would all get a good gist of everything. But now I feel like it's going to be pretty hard. It's not going to be able to be done through something like a Zoom call, in my opinion, because it's just not the same like as having everybody together and just being able to write stuff on the board together. And just that whole experience of being together with people really help for occasions like these. But I guess we'll have to see how we adapt to that in the next coming days, because finals are literally in like 2 weeks, I would say. Yeah. But yeah, that's mainly what I wanted to talk about this week. This has been my reflection for week of April 20th. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.